Yes, guys, and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for your pre-match build-up with your boy Big Dave, looking clean, feeling supreme ahead of today's half-5 kickoff, and I cannot wait for it up against Stroppy Cloppy as we welcome Liverpool to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Both sides, two of the four that remain unbeaten in the Premier League. Someone's all might have to go today. But look, it's no doubt it is a test. Liverpool, they're playing some great football at the minute. Let's be real about this. You know, they've got the front line, they've also got the midfield to be able to open us up. But however, they are gettable. You know, right through that midfield. If they play McAllister's that holding role, we can get at them through there. Van Dijk, many people saying he's not as good as he maybe once was, and that their defense does leak a few goals. And they've gone home, I think they've gone behind 5 out of their games so far this season. So, you know, Tottenham should really ideally be looking to start fast today, something we haven't done in quite some time. We're more of a second half team and have been even under Conte. It's still sort of continuing under Ange, and we cannot afford to start slow like we did at the Emirates last week. Likes of Basuma and Madison cannot get caught on the ball in midfield like they did last week, or as deep in the pitch as they did last week. The opportunity is there for us today to start fast, get straight at Liverpool, and punish them nice and early. So hopefully Tottenham take that opportunity. But let's see, some match stats. Of course, we are at home at the greatest stadium in world football, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and hopefully we can use that wall of sound to our benefit today. Gary Neville spoke about the Tottenham fans brutalising Arsenal when they turned up for that North London derby at our place that they postponed earlier on in the season, which we ended up getting Champions League off the back of. And I want to see more of the same today. You look at Liverpool, they're a club that use their fans to their advantage, and it usually helps them get over the line, intimidates opposition teams when they come to their stadium. They already feel defeated up against 12 men. Well, that's exactly the way we need to replicate our stadium this year. We're already an unbeaten start to the season. Can that continue? Can we have an unbeaten home season? Who knows? But if the fans play their part, we definitely can. I want to hear the fans in full voice today before the game. I'm loving Big Ange instead. Belt it out. And every time a Liverpool player touches the ball, fear them, make them nervous, force them into mistakes. Let's throw something at them they haven't had to handle yet. And let's see what comes of it. But the fans have a massive part to play today. They've been excellent so far this season. So if anyone is going to the game and tuning in, please encourage everyone around you. Full voice today. We need you today. Of course, it is at 5:30, which I cannot wait for. A nice late kickoff again. Gives fans time to wake up, get well oiled up for the game. Absolutely brilliant. Now, referee is Simon Hooper. This guy is the guy that managed our 3-3 draw, which felt like a defeat at the back end of last season, where he gave that late penalty against Papa Matasar. And look, I'm quite disgusted with the officiating in the Premier League at this moment in time, if you want me to be brutally honest. We're now getting to a point where you're not even allowed to talk about the officials' mistakes because they're all trying to cover up for each other. Like, look what they've done to Jermaine Genius when he called the ref a shithouse. I mean, let's be honest. I've had a lot worse come out of people's mouth towards a referee than a shithouse, but just seems like you're not allowed to talk about them at the minute. And I just don't want the referee to have an influence on today's game. I'm sick of coming out of games, or even just in football in general, and every weekend the biggest talking points are what the referee got wrong, and it's not actually the football on display, and it's really annoying me. I just want the man in the middle to do his job, go about it nice and silently, and let the game do the speaking. Darren England, of course, in the VAR room. Again, I have another issue with VAR. It was brought in to make decisions definitive, but when you still refer it to a referee who's over the VAR system, with the amount of different rules that are in place, it's still open to human interpretation, which for me then, just throw it back to the man in the middle. I'm sick of this whole debacle. And then, of course, if you want to watch the game in the UK and Ireland, it is on Sky Sports. In the USA, it is on NBCSN. In Australia, it's on Optus Sports. And in Canada, it is on Football TV. Well, of course, you've got various of great watch-alongs around the place to go and watch, but make sure you tune into the two boys here. Injury news for today, of course, Rodrigo Bentekers is out still with his knee. Ange asked about in the press conference, still going to be a little a while before he gets back to full fitness. And for me, I don't think we should put any pressure on him. Target January when we lose the likes of Basuma and Papa Matasar to AFCON. That's when we really need him to be fit for and ready to go. Of course, Perisic out with the ACL, probably played his last game for Tottenham. Very sad because he looked like he was really enjoying himself under Ange ball. Of course, Brennan Johnson will be missing today. Ange revealed that yesterday. So what happens? Do you bring Solomon in? Do you move Son out to left, put Richie through the middle? Let me know in the comments what you would do there, please. Of course, Ryan Sessegnon, I think he's still sort of out, but he is sort of getting back into training with his hamstring. And then, of course, Alfie Whiteman out with the injury he sustained pre-season. With Liverpool, 2 midfielders out in Thiago out with his hip. And, of course, Stefan Bacic, or whatever you want to call him, he's out with his calf. So they're the two things there. Let's bring in Jacob. Jacob is here to join me. Jacob, how are you keeping, man?
Good morning, Dave. Good morning. We are Tottenham TV fans. How are everyone doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Do you know what, Jacob? I was only saying on my show, I think it's a great sign of the times that everyone's going into these big games, with belief, with expectancy. It's a massive turnaround from last season where, me at times, I was leading the lineup and I was like, oh my God, we're going to lose here. And it's sort of like it's a massive turnaround that we're going into these games. But look, Jacob, I also described today as maybe not so much, I wouldn't say as a free hit, but it's a good test to see where we stack up to the teams that will be going for the title.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the good news is we believe Sonny and Madison are good to go. We know Brennan Johnson isn't going to go, but I don't think that necessarily makes me feel one way or the other as far as the result. Now, having a Brennan Johnson is always a positive because of the pace and the ability to get in behind. But, when we look at this 11, honestly, I know it hasn't come out yet, but I think most of us can assume about 90% of it. And that's a very great foundation to start building upon. And really the results, I think, have been we've deserved the results that we've gotten, Dave, with this 11. It's just when you get the likes of Bentancur that comes back. I mean, Johnson, these are two additions that, looking at this list right here, that I would say when they come back, I like that. I feel good about the prospect of them coming in and help bolstering our squad. Not just because of the depth as far as midfield, but I think it'll be interesting to see where Bentancur really fits when he does come back. Does he occupy the areas where Basuma is? Because we saw in a two-man midfield, he kind of played how Basuma's playing now in a three-man midfield, which is he'll drop into the 6, he'll pick it up and carry it, he'll turn with the ball, he'll look for the outlet pass, and we've seen Basuma do that very exceptionally well, and that allows Papa Matasar to just really clean up defensively and then attack in those dangerous spaces. And I'm curious to see where Rodrigo goes when he does come back, but honestly, the starting 11, there's so much that I like about it. Even though it hasn't been announced, I think we all know kind of what it's going to look like. And there's the main question for me is whose spot. Who's going to take now Brennan Johnson's spot? Alejo Veliz was on the bench last match, so maybe he still gets in on the bench, but maybe we see another Phillips. I don't know. I don't know who gets in for him.
Look, it'd be interesting. Just quickly there, people had a number of fears over Madison and Son. They both arrived at the stadium looking like they're ready to play. Gil Messi also walking in with his boot bag. Looks like he could make the bench today. Van de Ven, of course, arriving as well. News coming out that Højbjerg rejecting the move to Saudi Arabia. And then quotes from Postecoglou's match day. What are they called? I actually have a collection. I can't even, the names evade me. I didn't get a good night's sleep last night. Match day program. It's an exciting game for everyone. We want to be involved in these big matches and attempting to overcome the challenges in front of us. I know we'll do that with your incredible back, and the noise you make is so inspiring to us all. Jacob, I was just speaking about that before we brought you on, my man. I mean, about the 12th man. You look at Liverpool, right? They've notoriously, that over the years, used it to good effect. Gary Neville spoke about how Spurs fans use it to effect. The North London Derby when we went for Champions League, where he famously said, we brutalised Arsenal. And he specifically said Tottenham fans brutalised Arsenal tonight. And Ange's looking maybe for the fans to do the exact same thing again today. How important of a role do the fans have to play on games like this?
I think the role that fans play in games like this is absolutely critical. I think bringing the energy, making it hostile, making it hard for just Jurgen Klopp yelling on the sideline to get across to his man. You want it to be deafening for 90 minutes. I know that isn't a high goal, but at the same time, if you want to be that 12th man, if you really want to impact the match, that's what you have to do, in my opinion. You have to make it so noisy that they can't hear each other. They can't communicate, hey, run here, run, because they can't even hear. And that's how you want the sound to be. So from a fan's perspective, I think we can only be as good as we can be. But what I would say in turn is, if you look at our home record, specifically at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, not White Hart Lane, they're undefeated. We haven't beaten them once. I always say Ainge is the guy that's going to come in and break these kinds of curses and break these myths that surround our club. And hopefully this is one of them. But I do have a hard time. Like, if I'm trying to remain balanced, the crowd can be as loud as they want to be. But I think the 12th man aspect can be negated by the fact that they've never lost there. So they're coming in confident. They don't care. They're not afraid of what the crowd can do to affect the game. So I think once we really are able to dominate them at our own home pitch, and then the crowd gets involved on top of that, that is just what's going to create the environment that I think we could see to be important for this kind of thing for me. Again, Liverpool aren't scared coming here. We know that much. It just, again, I know we haven't talked too much about the predictions for the game, but I just know this is going to be a matter of who can be resilient the most amount of times, who can reply the most amount of times, because it's going to be, this is a neutral's favorite, much like last week. I think Arsenal versus Spurs was a neutral's favorite. How blessed are we to play in 2 matches back to back that are neutral's favorites, and honestly just got us both so excited. So it's a great thing to wake up to, man.
Absolutely spot on. You're right. Look, the whole world's going to be tuning in tonight. They're going to expect a big ding-dong end-to-end football. It's going to be an absolute cracker. But look, I do think the fans have a part to play today. And, in general, all season long, if they can just make it a hostile place to come, not so much a friendly place to come, they definitely can, have an effect on opposition teams coming here before they've even arrived at the stadium. So hopefully, I know the fans will be up for it. Hopefully they can turn it into a hostile place for Liverpool today. Also, just we had to speak about the academy on Wednesday night with the boys, Ben and Sim and Lee McQueen. Well, the under-18s continued their good start to the season as well today with a 2-1 win over West Brom, despite going down to 10 men. So, the feel-good factor is all around. Absolutely love it. So, Jacob,
were you able to watch that U18 match? Were you able to watch that?
No.
But something, I know you and I have seen the U21 matches that we subscribe to on Spurs Play, and honestly, the just real quick, the trickle down effect of Ainge Postecoglou now into our academies, the way that we play in the academy. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. Are we starting to emulate that Ainge Postecoglou style in the academy?
I think we're starting to maybe emulate the philosophy around the football. The formation is a little bit different. We don't really play the inverted fullback, but and we play a 4-2-3-1. But I think, I was reading something the other day. I think the general formations they're going to be playing right throughout the academy now is a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, and I think that's maybe going to be the philosophy. The philosophy will still be high pressing, have to be technically gifted, play out from the back. All the good values of what Postecoglou is doing is the values of the academy now. And so it should be, right? It gives all them youngsters a better chance to be able to make it, because they're not going up there learning different instructions. It's just literally a matter if you're good enough. Now, I know Jamie Donnelly trained with the first team during the week. A lot of rave reviews about him. A lot of fans starting to stand up and take notice of him. I mean, even Ben and Sim said I think they were going to go to the under-21 game on Monday night to go down and watch him and see how good he is. Be interested to see whether he makes the bench today or not. I'm guessing maybe that Gill's there, maybe he hasn't. But, these players are knocking on the door, and as long as they keep producing, and then they can win what they're in this season. Like the under-21s, they're top of the league. They're absolutely flying, still in the Football League trophy, still in the Premier League 2 trophy. Under-18s are flying in the league, only lost 1 game, still in their cup competition as well. So it is looking very, very good for the academy. So long may it continue. But Jacob, I wanted to bring up Van de Ven's comments, and this is something that sort of shows me that Tottenham has changed. You've actually got a squad of players that want to play for each other, that like each other. And these are Van de Ven comments. So what I'll do is I'll leave you talk about then the controversial decision once I have to bow out, so you have something to talk about who plays on the left-hand side today. But
Okay.
these are Mickey Van de Ven's quotes from during the week about the partnership with Romero. And down the last couple of years, I've always highlighted how important a partnership is, and to have that sort of belief in each other for your backline to sort of flourish, especially through the spine of your team. And Mickey Van de Ven had to say on the partnership with Romero, and I absolutely loved it. This is chubby material, over 18s. We'll flash that warning up on screen now. He says, I think it naturally happened on the pitch. We felt each other quite fast. I know what Cutie's qualities are. Cutie knows what my qualities are. We know what we expect from each other. I have his back and he has my back. Cutie is just an amazing player. I know when I run in one direction, he's in my back because he's always there. I make him maybe more calm. He makes me more aggressive. I mean, that quote right there at the end, followed by, they have each other's back. When was the last time we've heard a Tottenham team talk about this? Talk like this. This is exciting, right?
Maybe the last time I've heard any kind of relationship spoken so fondly is Harry Who and Heung-min Son. I don't want to say his name, but you know who, the most dynamic duo in Premier League history. That's who. I think, and remember, Mickey Van de Ven's first start came off the back of, 2 or 3 training sessions? That's all he had.
I was saying during the week that he didn't even think he had one. Maybe he had one before he was thrown in.
Yeah. And I mean, he hasn't looked out of his depth at any juncture at all. It's absolutely phenomenal to see. Love Mickey Van de Ven with all my heart. And honestly, this is what we all cried for last season. Those of us who still felt Romero was an adequate center back, we knew that we needed to pair him with somebody who could A, calm him down, and B, compliment him well, and C, someone he could trust. From this quote, we've gotten all 3 of those, David. I mean, how exciting is that? We're 6 Premier League matches in, and we've already figured out the partnership. We were, in the summer talking about maybe it's going to be Tapsoba, maybe it's going to be Mickey Van de Ven, and then we first signed Ashley Phillips. And it's like, who are we going to, that's a right-sided center back. Who are we going to pair with Romero? So it was always this question of who's going to come in there, give Romero the trust that you don't have to be so rash. You don't have to go flying out of position and clatter into a guy because you're worried that I'm not going to be able to clean up from behind you. This quote checks all the boxes for me. Mickey Van de Ven has checked all the boxes for me. This kid, the way he talks, just like Ange Postecoglou. I mean, you would think this is a 35-year-old vet who's been in the Premier League for a long time, the way he speaks. He's 21, 20 years old. This kid, he is a kid, compared to me anyway. He is a kid. And it's just like to see him already at this level, that's where the expectation has now been set. And the fact that him and Romero, I like a quote before we even get to the last part. This whole thing, like you said, is a Chubb material. I have his back and he has my back. They don't have to look over their shoulder. Is he there? They know he's there. That's what means the most to me as a fan, as someone who's been crying to get Romero an adequate partner that he could perform to the best of his abilities with. We're starting to see that. And this is just the beginning stages. We've just begun. Just think about when Mickey Van de Ven has a year's worth of training under Ange Postecoglou, training with Christian Romero. How much better? I'm not even trying to look too far ahead, but next season, honestly, when we start next season, we're not going into that season worried about our back line because the foundation has been set. It is young enough to where I feel confident. If we could lock Udogie Van de Ven down to long-term contract, the next 5 to 6, 7 years of these positions are taken care of. We just need that depth now. But again, back to this quote, it's there, and it's all that I've wanted to see. Someone to bring the best out of Romero. You need someone like Romero, and you need someone like Van de Ven. It's beautiful.
I just absolutely love it. Like Mark Elwood says here, Toby and Jan vibes. I mean, this is everything that a partnership should be, having each other's backs, being able to complement each other's maybe weaknesses or rein each other in. I absolutely love it. This is the foundation of our team. Look, I've probably, fallen out with so many people, or so many people maybe just don't listen to me anymore because maybe I've had certain thoughts on some of the old guard, like a Darren, a Davies, and a Reese. I will say to them people out there, they're no longer here anymore. So I'd love if you could give me a second chance. But you never heard this sort of stuff in the press from them guys. It was always like, excuses and, hiding what's going on at the club, this, that, and the other. Whereas you look at this, they're clearly playing for each other. They clearly have a common goal that they want to work towards and that they're making it work. And I just love the end part where, we know with Van de Ven how laid his back is, that Romero makes him more aggressive. And then he can calm Romero down a little bit. Many fans have spoken about we need someone maybe to help Romero calm down. I always said if you get the right partner, you won't see him be as aggressive. You will see him, be a bit more calmer. And Van de Ven has bought that. And of the biggest part to it, the biggest reason why we started off the season the way we have. I've always argued we always score goals at Tottenham. My whole lifetime, we've always had four strikers or creative players, great wingers that were always contributing in the goals. What we haven't always had is the best of defenses. And when we had our best defense with Pochettino, it propelled us so close to the promised land. And with our defense now, we're not shipping as many goals as we were once. We were having to score 3-4 goals just to try and win a game. Now, 2 goals is enough. 2 goals is enough to go win us that game. And the fact that they're starting to tighten up at the back, not give us many soft chances as they once were, it really is the catalyst for what we're seeing right now, which is absolutely huge. So big up Mickey Van de Ven. More of them quotes. Jacob Donovan Oosterreicher says, cooked up a cheeky egg salad on toast in honor of Spurs having Liverpool on toast. Keep saying Bentancur like that. Jacob, it's going to get wicked in here.
Big up Donovan. Good morning, Donovan. Cooked up a cheeky egg salad toast. Oh, that's very nice.
Salad.
Yeah, and that's it. There you go. In honor of Mosa. Well, hopefully we're all going to be eating good. This is going to be Destiny Udogi's biggest competition up to this point. I think you could say comfortably. There is not a winger that he has faced like Mohamed Salah. All respect needs to be given to this man. But there was a good point that someone made yesterday on my channel was, I think Destiny is too young and maybe too dumb to give this man all the respect that maybe he should get, and that could play into our hands. That could play to his advantage, because think about it. If you don't necessarily feel or have this, if I'm playing against Mohamed Salah, it's almost like what Messi's doing in the MLS, right? They just watch him play. They sit back. They don't want to interfere with what they're seeing because they're watching greatness. Destiny Udogi's not going to do that, right? He's going to go into this, okay, another winger to put in my pocket, add him to the collection. And honestly, long may it continue. But big up Donovan and good morning. Member for 30 months. That's quite the dedication to the channel here. So, yeah, big up Donovan.
Loyalty. Absolutely insane loyalty, Donovan. Big yourself up, my man.
Big up.
Salad for dinner as well. Don't forget that. More salad down to your local takeaway. I'll have more salad, please. That'll be absolutely unbelievable. But big up, Donovan. But look, Jacob, I'm going to pass it over to you. It's time for you to bring up the lineups, have a go through them, and I have your say. But Jacob, thanks very much, my man, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Everybody out there, Jacob's going to take this solo for the last half hour. Please get your questions in the chat for him, and just engage with him through the half hour. It's very difficult to do it. Jacob's probably the right guy to do it, though. But Jacob, I'll leave it in your trusty hands, my man. We'll speak again soon, sir.
Big up, David. Whoa, that instantly shared. There's the lineup. It is out. Big up, Dave. Thank you for the handoff. And big up, Ben and Sim. We are Tottenham TV. Trusting a humble folk like myself to go ahead and take this thing over. But I have the lineup here on Twitter. Starting in net, Vicario Sicario, number 1. Actually, number 13. But starting in goal is Vicario. Then we have Pedro Porro at the right back. Romero and Van de Ven, that beautiful partnership David and I were just speaking about. Destiny Udogi at the left back. Love to see it. Bissouma, Sarr, and Madison, the midfield trio. The Talk to Me Nicely pairing. And interestingly enough, Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Son. So Richarlison getting the start today over... I guess for the injured Brendan Johnson, rather. So on the bench, we have Fraser Forster, Emerson Royale, Ben Davies. Ashley Phillips gets in ahead of Eric Dyer. I like that. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Can y'all see that? Maybe I should zoom it in a little bit more for you. Well, I'm zooming in the wrong window there. Let me go ahead and zoom that in a little bit more so you can see it. The bench here: Forster, Royale, Davies, Ashley Phillips, Højbjerg, Skip, Solomon, Ashley Valise, and Donley on the bench. I saw some people in the chat saying Donley on the bench. Y'all want to see Donley? Hey, guess what? He is here. The kids are on the bench. Love to see it. Interesting, though. How do we feel in the chat? This is going to be a little bit different. I don't know necessarily how they always like to rock it here on We Are Tottenham TV for the pre-match pump-up. But what I'm going to do, if you are in the chat, I'm going to be interacting with you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to see you. And I'm going to talk about what you're saying. What are we saying about Richarlison? It looks like he might be starting through the middle, Son on the left. I'm a little worried, y'all. I'm a little worried. I'm going to tell you why I'm a little concerned before I start getting to the chat. I'm a little concerned because it's just, this is the biggest test of the season, and Richarlison through the middle has not been effective. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little concerned. I like the bench. I'll put it that way. I like the bench. I absolutely like the bench. Let's see what everyone's saying. Donovan celebrating that Richarlison is starting today. Mungie32 says, called it. Good morning, Mungie. Madison is fit. He is starting. So is Son. Phillips and Valise both on the bench, says Rudy2. DB, big up. Lollipop says, Richie is the best Brazilian of all time. I think you are trolling me a little bit there. Charlie Moondog, Richie better be on form. He better be. This is going to be a huge test for all of us. Let me make sure you see Son. Son's name is there too. No Dyer, love to see it, says Matt. Talk to me nicely. This bench looks good, doesn't it? Ashley Phillips and Ben Davies and Emerson Royale. That is our defensive. I mean, if you want to count Højbjerg, but that is our defensive backup for the day. But looking at this lineup, I mean, we kind of knew this whole starting part. So I'm just going to leave up on the screen. If you are looking at the stream, it is up there. Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Son. It'll be interesting to see if Son's going to be playing through the middle. Or we're going to put Richarlison out left, or are we going to do Richarlison down the middle? Honestly, I think it's going to be Richarlison through the middle. Well, I don't see. I guess I haven't seen Richarlison as a left winger in Ange Postecoglou's system yet. So, you know what? He is coming off a couple goals. Got to hope that that leads and bodes to something nicely for Tottenham Hotspur. Let's see what else we're saying here. Neil Hughes, not happy Richie starting in poor form. I don't know if I'm not happy yet. I don't know if I'm still working through my emotions. Amir with Israel on cover. Big up, buddy. Says, I'm excited to see Richie get the start. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get one over on Liverpool for once. Hey, Israel, YouTube chat member, I'm here to tell you, Ange Postecoglou is the breaker of myths, of hoodoos and voodoos, man. We're going to break it all. Ange Postecoglou's got us covered. Don't you worry. Yannick Emo in the house. Batu says, Valise and Donley, love to see it. Rudy Toot, really not happy Richie is starting. Hope he showed something in training. Is it maybe he showed something in training, or maybe it was just something, maybe it was more, this is only the thing that we had, and we had to do it for Richarlison. I don't know. Some people wanted to see Solomon at the left wing, but we're getting Richarlison to start officially. I want to see Richie on the left, says Christian Pimentel. Big up, Christian. Good morning. Son corner to Richie. That's what Footsie's prediction is for the goal for Tottenham. I love to see it. Neil Hughes, Sonny's been quality. That's a bad decision. Yogi Bear says, not sure that means he's in the middle. You're right. This is the graphic designer that made it. Wasn't Ange Postecoglou who made this photo that we're looking at. It is Spurs media department, graphic designer. And you know what? They don't know what Ange is doing. So you're right, Yogi Bear. This doesn't necessarily mean that Richarlison is through the middle. My prediction is that Richarlison will be played through the middle. But hey, I hope that I'm wrong, because I want to see Son playing that 9 position. That's what I've wanted to see in the beginning of the season when Richarlison was failing in that position. So I want to see it again. But big up Yogi Bear in the house. Richie on the left, says Richard White. I hope so. Jamie Leadbetter, how you doing? Liking Richarlison. Don't forget he used to play for Everton, so he knows Liverpool and has a good record for Everton against him. Here's a point that I didn't think of, and this is why I love engaging with the chat so much. Obviously, I'm falling behind in the chat. There's over 600 of y'all in the house for We Are Tottenham TV. I am the substitute teacher today, but I'm not teaching nothing. We're just going to have a good time. time. Hit that like for the boys Ben and Sim, bringing you all that content here on the channel. Hit that like if you're excited. Hit that like if you don't want Richarlison to start. Hit that like if you think Richarlison should start. But this is a good point, Jamie Leadbetter, that Richarlison used to play for Everton. He's used to the Merseyside derby. So I guess maybe we should trust him. I don't know. But Daniel Von Ulst says, in Ainge we trust. And I guess at the end of the day, I go on every platform talking about how I trust Ainge Postecoglou. I go on all these platforms talking about that I'm going to trust whatever decisions he does. And, you know, if he wants to start Richarlison, I got to just go ahead and concede and say, Ainge, you know more than me. That's my personal approach. Yanovo, Richie can't hold the ball. It's going to be tough. Charlie Massingham says, this is because of the mind games. It could be. Tyler Barella says, I think Richie and Son will be switching positions a lot. Interesting. Maybe we will see that. That is a very interesting profile photo as well. Big up, Tyler. Anthony Detolo says, got to be Son through the middle. He's been amazing there. He's had 5 goals through the middle. 5 goals in 3 matches through the middle. So Shirley, but don't call me Shirley. That's where he's got to be played. Remains to be seen. Maybe these are the mind games. Jamie Donnelly on the bench says Leonardo Moniz. Big up, Leonardo. Excuse me, everybody. Dare Eagle, they're probably putting Richie on the left side. I hope so. I hope that's what we're going to see. Donovan says, called Richarlison. Ainge said that he was crucial for our system because he could play on the wing and in the middle to replace for Johnson. Okay. So you're saying Richarlison on the wing. That's what we're saying here. Lim Steven says, we do not have a stronger firepower trio up front as compared to the Liverpool's trio. So our midfielders and defenders need to double up their game for us. Midfielders will be crucial in this game. What I will say, let me go ahead in a separate tab while I talk to y'all. I'm going to be pulling up Liverpool's lineup so we can look at them as well, because I'm really interested to see if they play McAllister in that 6. I think this is an area in which we can exploit. James Maddison pulling that McAllister, who's not really a number 6, playing a number 6. If we can pull him left, we can pull him right. That might be a good scenario for us. But let's see here. I've got the tweet. Let's see who we got starting for Liverpool. Allison and Net, Gomez at the left back, Matip and Van Dijk. I love to see it because everyone was telling me Konate gets in over Christian Romero. Everyone said Konate gets in on the combined 11 over Christian Romero. But what I want to say is, look at Matip is not a good center back. We can exploit Gomez, Matip on the left side. Okay, so if we got Richarlison on the left, they got Gomez and Matip. People have been saying Gomez is all right at the left back. I think he's more of a center back. He is a pacey center back, so I guess if you're that is kind of what you could do there, I suppose. Robertson there at the left back. McAllister appears to be playing in that 6. Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones in the midfield. Luis Diaz, Mohamed Salah, and Cody Gakpo get the start. Nunez on the bench. Endo, Konate, Kelleher, Harvey Elliott, Diogo Jota, Kostas Tsimikas, Gravenberch, and Alexander Arnold is also on the bench. I guess he's not 100% fit, but he's back, and at least he's saying hello. We got a super chat here 3 minutes ago. I apologize. Jason Green says, good morning, Jason Green from Texas. Says, going to be a tough game, but I believe in our team, and I'm going for a 3-1 or a 3-2 Spurs win. Richie will for sure score. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Jason Green. Big up for the super chat. I will skip ahead in the chat for a super chat, and thank you for the donation here to We Are Tottenham TV. Says, predicting a 3-1 or a 3-2, I love to see it. Personally, I predicted a little bit higher scoring of an affair. I feel like we are going to give Liverpool plenty of opportunities to get in behind. They are going to give us plenty of opportunities to exploit spaces and create lanes for runners. I really think, look, McAllister starting in that 6. You got Gomez and Matip. If we can get Maddison, say, to pull McAllister out on the right side, and then we work on our left with Richarlison and Son and Ugodi, and then obviously Basuma will drift in there in those spaces as well. I kind of like those chances. I think that down the left is going to be our best bet to go ahead and get some glory. Look, Liverpool fans have rated McAllister playing in that role. My point with bringing up why I don't think McAllister is going to thrive in that 6 role versus us is we're going to bring a certain style of play for 90 minutes. And a guy like McAllister, I don't think he's going to want to play that dirty number 6 role for 90 minutes in the manner in which we're going to require him to play that role. I don't think he's going to do that for 90 minutes. He may be able to do it for 45, 50, 60 minutes, but we're going to keep working him. And honestly, I like our chances. I absolutely like our chances if we could work that. That is not a true number 6 that they have there, McAllister. You saw him win the World Cup with Argentina playing that box-to-box 8 or the 4-10. He's not a 6. Now, he may be able to play it. He may have the physical makeup, the physical qualities to play in that position. But my point being is this is going to be a rough, tough, end-to-end affair, and we're going to be getting in after him. I don't think he's going to want to hang in that ring for 12 rounds with us. I really don't. I think he's going to go in there. He's going to see how we're going to operate. This is my point. I've looked at Liverpool's start to the Premier League, and again, 4 out of 6 Premier League matches in the first half, they allow their opponent to do what they want. This is the point I'm saying. If you look at and that's not even including the Chelsea game. If you include the Chelsea game where they drew 1-1 the first week of the season, first of all, Chelsea can't score, and they let them score. They've only had one clean sheet, I believe, and it was against I think it was against Aston Villa. I'm going to have to pull up the stats so I just don't keep talking out my butt here. But keep getting your comments in. Get your super chats in if you want. I will be going back to the chat right now after I solidify what I'm saying here. It was Aston Villa. The only team to not score on them is Aston Villa, and when they won 3-0. Everybody else, Chelsea scored. Bournemouth has scored against them. Newcastle scored against them. Wolverhampton Wanderers have scored against them. LASK, LASIK? I don't know. They've scored against them too in Europa. West Ham has scored against them. Leicester City, recently relegated Leicester City, they've also scored against them. These people allow goals. And honestly, it's up to Tottenham Hotspur to go ahead and exploit that. So I really I kind of like the way that we're looking. I'm looking at their lineup and I'm feeling more confident, y'all. I want to know how we're feeling in the chat. We are almost on 45 minutes. So the last 10 minutes of the show or so, in about 5 minutes, I want to do score predictions. And I'm the kind of guy, when I am hosting a show, I like the viewers. I'm not going to say fans because y'all are fans of We Are Tottenham TV, but when I refer to fans, I refer to the people who subscribe to United Spurs of America. But my point in saying that, get your score predictions in, your goal scores, 5-2, 3-3, 2-2, whatever it is, and then tell me who for Tottenham Hotspur you have scoring the goals. I will star them. I will bring them up, and then I'll tell you mine, and that's how I like to end off a little prediction show. That's how I ended off the show on the channel yesterday. So big up everybody in the house. I still see 600 of y'all hanging out. Absolutely fantastic. Keep hitting up them likes, y'all. I see 140 likes. Shirley, but don't call me Shirley. This video could be on 300 likes in the next 2 seconds if y'all so choose. It costs absolutely nothing. 100% free. All you do is hit the button. It looks like this, a thumb in the air. Put your thumbs in the air if you don't care and wave them around. Let's see, where was I at in the chat? Here I am. I caught back up where I was. Eric Kim says, strange decision to send Son to the left. We don't know that for sure. I'm going to go ahead, just so we stop seeing this dirty red, I'm going to go ahead and share this tab so we can go back to looking at our lineup. But I don't know. I don't want to see Son on the left. It will be strange if he does play on the left. Richie on the left is what my hope is, Slime Boy Tubbs. I sure hope so. Big up Rich. Hey, how you doing? Says, big up Jacob, walking to the game now. I'm worried about Richie. Big up Rich. Don't be worried about Richie. Let's all trust in Ange Postecoglou. I feel like Ange will not lead us astray in this regard. He will be the one to make the most educated decision. Outside of what I think, outside of what any content creator that you listen to thinks, they're not Ange Postecoglou. They're not there on the training pitch with these players every single day, in the halls, eating with them, in team meetings, talking with them. I would say initially, seeing the name on there shocked me a little bit. I will have to say that. I think Richie plays left, says Jacob Lau Larson with Son in the middle. I hope that's what we see, Jacob. And great name, by the way. My name's Jacob as well. How you doing? Frederick says Solomon should start over Richie. DB says, let's hope Richie has shock absorbers in his boots so ball does not bounce off him. Come on, Richie, your time. Honestly, I see Richie scoring a goal, but it's going to be ruled offside. Something inside tells me something inside definitely tells me that's what's going to happen here. Rand, Richarlison can play on the left, so it's possible that we still have Son in the middle. I hope you're right. Jack Bloom says pigeon celebration. Hey, are we all going to be doing the pigeon dance later? Talk to me nicely. We might. Chris Black, center backs to physical. The center back's too physical for Son. Plan is to get Son in behind Trent. Trent is not starting. Trent is on the bench, so maybe get in behind Joe Gomez and Matip there. If Matip's at the right center back and they got Joe Gomez at their left back, or as their right back, excuse me, I like it. I'm just saying. I thought they were going to have Konate. I thought Konate was going to start. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Things are looking a little bit better. Son in the middle, Richie to the left, says Weirdo Willa. Aiden J. Midgley, he needs to start, score more goals. Hey, we can only hope, my friend. Richie, channel your Evertonian hate for Liverpool, please. Absolutely. Jason Bell says, I'm a little surprised Richarlison is starting. If it doesn't work out, I have confidence in Ainge will take him off quickly. I hope so. If at minute 45, Jason Bell, if Richie ain't working, get his ass off the pitch right now. But you know what? If he is in fact doing good work, is this the future? Is this the I don't know. This is just the lineup that we saw the first few matches in our front three. All of them did not score a goal for a while there. So that's the concern for me. Do you think Son will play at striker and Richie on the left wing? Leonardo, I think so. I hope so. I want this to be the case. I don't know for sure. I can't, as much as I would love to be like, I know final say. But for me, it would make the most sense that Sonny plays the striker because that's where he's bagging the goals. And it would make sense that Richarlison should be out left. But also, as we saw in the first few weeks, Son was on the left, Richarlison through the middle. And let's be honest, Son, when we played in that position where Richarlison was through the middle and Son was on the left, Son had some great chances created, if I remember correctly, and Richarlison was unable to finish his dinner. Therefore, he wasn't able to score, and then it made Son look bad because he wasn't able to get his assist at the left wing. And then Solomon came in, got 2 on his first start at the left wing. So, maybe if Richie can finish his dinner, then we'll be all right if Sonny plays out there on the left and Richie down the middle. Richie on the left makes sense. He don't have the hold-up play, just run, says Christian Pimentel. You might be right. I think you called it. Big up Carl Higgins in the house. Big up Tottenham fan. Daniela Zito says Richie will score. He has to. I think that's what it says. I don't know what that says there, Daniela Zito, but good morning. DB says 100%, but he may change during the game with Son. It'd be interesting to see if they might do like overlapping runs and drift into different spaces with each other and kind of work together in like a fluid left winger striker. Maybe that's what we'll see. Kind of think that Richie, I would start Richie and bench Son, maybe bring some young legs, Donaldson, then sub Sonny after 60. Who's Donaldson? Yogi Bear, I wonder why Solomon isn't starting. Maybe that's who you meant, Gareth Davies. Maybe that's who you meant. Maybe just because he'd get bullied. I don't know. Maybe Solomon is too little for this type of matchup. Is Son up top? Yes, I hope so. Predictions from Tottenham fan. We will get to those in a minute. It's time for Richie to step up, says BSB. Richie on the left. I hope so. Jason Green says, going to be a tough game, but I believe in our team. We're going for a 3-1, 3-2 Spurs win. Richie will for sure score. Come on, you Spurs. Oh, that's also what you super chatted. Big up. You said so nice. You said it twice. Madsy says, Alistair Gold said that Richarlison is on the left. I hope that is the case, my friend. Apologies. As I'm scrolling, I'm on a laptop, but as I'm scrolling, I hit back, so I apologize for that. Let me see where I was in the chat. Big apologies, everybody. All right, I see your score predictions coming in. Let me make sure I star these. I see some score predictions here. Yogi Bear says, look at the bases will be loaded and Richie will hit in the dinger. That's a baseball reference, and I'm not even a baseball fan, and I caught that one. Big up. get in your score predictions. We are 10 minutes away from ending the show, so please do get in your score predictions. I'll read them out before I read mine, and then we will go from there. I'm starring them as we go, so don't worry. I will not miss it. I'm scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss any ones. I see one I almost mentioned. Yes, Rudy 2. Trent Alexander-Arnold is on the bench for Liverpool. That is true. Uppercase says, worried about that Salah versus Udogie battle. Saka seemed to be on the winning side of the tussle last week. Fingers crossed. Uppercase, what I will say about this is once Udogie got that yellow card, he did look a little bit more composed. He looked like he was more willing to be patient and not necessarily be so aggressive. And I think that boded better for him in the long run. The second half, Bukayo Saka wasn't really doing much. I am worried though, but in a good worry. You know how like if you have a kid and they have a big test coming up, you're worried for them. I'm worried for Destiny Udogie. This is the biggest test of his life. I said this yesterday. Y'all can agree, disagree. I think this is the biggest match of Ange Postecoglou's career. I think this is absolutely the biggest match of his career. The toughest opponent that he's had to play. Now, he could probably say something else in regards to like an international team or when he was coaching somewhere else. But for me, in the Premier League, that's the best league. This is the first time he's coached managed in the Premier League. And this is the best team that we've faced in the Premier League thus far under Ange Postecoglou. I absolutely think this will be the biggest test of his life. And you know what? I'm nervous. I'm not worried though. I'll say I'm nervous, but I'm not worried. Big up Tyler Barella. Big up, man. Great stream. Big up. I appreciate y'all still rocking with me. I am doing this solo. I know you haven't seen me too much here on We Are Tottenham TV, but shout out to Ben and Sim for allowing me to be on here. And again, if you do know me from United Spurs of America, America's #1 Tottenham Hotspur fan channel, there you go. You can find me there. Let's get to some of these predictions, these score predictions before we end off the show. Got 9 more minutes before we end this thing off. Get your score predictions in now. Brooklyn Evans, 3-3 draw or 4-0 win. Very nice. Yannick Emo says 2-2 or 1-1 or 4-4. But either way, it sounds like you see it being a draw. Michael Krause says 2-1. 2-1, Sun and Cooler are the goal scorers. Thank you for providing your goal scores there. Michael, 2-2, Sonny. Sonny with 2 goals, Diaz and Gakpo with 1. Very nice. You even gave me the opposition's goal scorers as well, Michael. Appreciate that. Some guy says Tottenham 6-0. Disrespectful, maybe. Advantageous. I love it. I love to see it. 6-0. Come on, some guy. I hope you're right. I don't think you will be, but I hope you are. Yanevo says 2-1. Basuma and Udogie getting on the score sheet. Both of them opening their accounts with Tottenham Hotspur. Love to see it. Yanevo. Brooklyn Evans also says Spurs to win 3-2. Wolves still beating City 2-1, and I starred that because I saw 2-1, and I thought that was your score prediction, my friend. Let's see here. Who else got some score predictions? Jamie Leadbetter, 4-3 Spurs. Richie Sonny, maybe a defender and then for Liverpool, Nunez and Salah going to be good quality game. I hope it is going to be an absolutely huge game. Sonny fighting for 200 goals. Hey, just score 50 for me today, Sonny. 5-0 from you today, Sonny, and we'll hit 200. I love to see it. Sonny is my GOAT. Madsy, Darwin Nunez came from Benfica to lose with the Big Reds. Love to see it. 4-2 Spurs. Richie and Son, or Richie with 2 and Son with 1, and Matters with 1. And for Liverpool, maybe Salah or Dominic Szoboszlai. Yeah, it could very well be the case. Tottenham win 3-2 Son. Spurs scored twice. Richarlison scores late game winner. No, Son scores twice and Richarlison. Big up Just Zuper in the house. Let's see. Tara Buddha says, today we will win 3-0. I hope you're right. I would love to see it. Ross Gill, come on, you Spurs, 3-1. Win, Sonny hat trick. All right. Talk to me nicely. Love to see fellow American supporters. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Bishop. I do run El Paso Spurs Official Supporters Club. Y'all know that we run deep out here in America. I think Spurs got the most American official supporters clubs out of any other club in the Big Six. So that's fun to think about there. Any more? Frederick Ule, 3-1. All right. Donovan, 3-1. Richie, double, and Son. People got Richie scoring at least 1. I like to see it. I hope so. Ross Gill says 3-1. Sonny hat trick. That would be beautiful, Ross. I hope you are right. I hate Marmite. Why not continue to play Solomon? He's looked much better than Richie. I don't know. I think we'll find out in about 34 minutes time. We will find out once we kick off. David Butler, 3-2 easy. I like to see it. Rich says 2-1 Spurs. Leighton Evelyn, 3-2 Spurs. Love to see it. Kaylee Davis, YouTube chat member here and over on United Spurs of America. How you doing, Kaylee Davis? A respectable 2-2 is my prediction. A very much respectable 2-2. Talk to me nicely indeed. The game's going to be 50-50. So nervous. It's ya boy, Lost Cause, 2-3, Spurs winning. Love to see it. Big up Jammy Git. Says big up Jacob. I have to go to work and miss this huge game total. Bummer. What a bummer indeed. You're going to be missing a good one. We're going to be doing really great. Going for 4-3, says Jammy Git. Indrit says 3-1. Love it. But who's winning? Loving the stream, hippie. I'm not Paul, but that is you. A Hotspur hippie is Paul Beatty. That's his channel. You can find. He was supposed to be here. He couldn't make it today. But shout out Hotspur hippie every single time. Tottenham 3, Liverpool 2. Tottenham win big up. I love that result. I don't know your name, or else I would say it. I cannot read Korean, unfortunately. Tim McWilliams says 4-2 Spurs. Avails says 2-1 Spurs. Free says 1-1. It was a horse race. I don't know what you're saying. That seems like a. I don't know what the hell that was. Timmy Schnitzel. I love me some Schnitzel. I'm sure Harry Kane does too. 3-2 Richie hat trick. Oh, wow. My, oh, my. Richie hat trick. That might break the internet. I'm pretty sure that would break the internet. If Richie got a hat trick, are you kidding me? Big up 5-4 says fold blocks. Hotspur Stew 4-2. Atifa says 3-1. Warrior Without a Master says 3-2. Richie hat trick to silence the critics. He'll shut me up. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I will. I'll tell you that much. Big up Ross says loving the American Spurs contingent. Keep up the great work. Big up. Appreciate everyone showing some love. Stuart Hunter 4-2 Spurs. Would love it to be a 4-0. 4-2 Spurs. I like that. I'll take it. Sleepy Mocha. Mucha. 2-1 Tots. Salah own goal. You just had to throw that in there. I love it. Alan Bennett, Spurs 2-0. Dyer and Richie. Interesting you chose Dyer. He's not even on the bench there, buddy. Thocology says 31-5 Spurs. I love to see it. On one show, Jacob, I want to see you play that puppy behind you. Maybe I'll have to get my wife to play that beautiful beast behind me. I can only play the Jaws theme song. This is my wife's studio as well, so I can only play the Jaws theme song. Let's see. 5-4. Love to see American Tottenham fans. Hey, we're here. We're alive. We exist. Don't forget about us. Raina Kendall Roy says 3-2. Sun double and Richie with the winner. Love to see it. Raina 113-7. That's a hell of a score there, buddy. Is it really a question, mate? Of course, 3-2 for us. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Indrit. Luke Sucks at Live says it will be like Arsenal game, 2-2. All right. Well, you never know. I don't know. I feel like we could win this. I feel like someone's going to win this. I don't know. I don't see this being a 2-2 draw like last week. I see somebody winning this, and my hope and my heart and my head all say Tottenham Hotspur is going to get a late goal, baby. Maybe it's for Charleston. Maybe it won't be. Jacob Chaban, 2-1 Spurs. Amir says 2-0 Spurs. Flocka says 3-2 Spurs. And DDC credits 2-1 Spurs. Sunny double. Love to see it. And the long bow. Spurs winning 3-2. Love to see it. Yep, there are some ridiculous scores, but you know what? That's part of the fun. We all get to have our fun here. But before I say goodbye to all of y'all, let me go ahead and give you my score prediction. I think y'all are funny in the chat, man. I think like DB here. Crazy results today. We can break the Liverpool hoodoo. I do absolutely agree. Couple more score predictions coming in here. Thomas Reese, 5-2 Spurs. Richie hat trick. Rudy 2, 3-2. We will get a late one. You know, on average, Liverpool scores 3 goals per game. So I'm going to give them the 3. And on average, I think we score 2 goals per game. I think that's what the numbers say. But for me, I see us winning this. I see us, if we do what we can do and exploit the things I'm hoping that we can exploit. Start strong, start fast. Liverpool is going to let us do what we want in the first half, so let's go and bring it to them. The second thing we must do, exploit the spaces that McAllister will abandon. It's going to happen. He's going to have to drift into difficult spaces because of James Maddison. Got to exploit that space behind him. And then the third thing I'm going to say is exploit that center back, Matip. Exploit the center back playing a right back in Joe Gomez. Exploit those positions. I think we'll be all right. I'm saying a 4-3 Tottenham Hotspur win. My goal scorers for today, I got Son with 1. I got Richie with 1. I got Maddison with 1. Actually, no, scratch that. Maddison ain't scoring. He's only getting assists today. He's going to be cooking. He's just going to be cooking with assists. I got Sonny with 1. I got Richie with 1. I see Basuma opening his account and Christian Romero with the game winner. That's what I'm saying. Christian Romero with the game winner. Talk to me nicely. That is my prediction for Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool, which kicks off in less than 30 minutes from now. Less than 30 minutes from now. I'm actually starting to sweat because, honestly, when it's game time, baby, I get to perspirating. But I hope y'all are going to have a great time. I know I will. And enjoy the match. Stay here. They will be doing the watch-along. Support the lads here doing the watch-along. But also leave a comment. Leave a like on this. Shout them out. And you know what? Tell the boys that you appreciated the American substitute, the Clint Dempsey of Tottenham Hotspur coming in here, trying to just help out where I can. Again, I want to say thank you to Ben and Sim for allowing me the opportunity to be here to speak to y'all before a kickoff of Tottenham Hotspur. How blessed am I? How blessed are we? We're about to get to watch some more Ange Postecoglou ball. So come on, get in. I'm trying to keep the cursing down because this isn't my channel, so I'm keeping the cursing down. But no, in my soul, I want to scream very, very loud. A lot of obscenities. So know that I'm ready for the game. I hope you are too. But as always, stay fresh, stay blessed, be safe if you're at the game. Be safe coming home from the game. Up the lads. And come on, you Spurs. Course.